I'm sorry, I'm trying to make money. Do you want me to not make money, Jason?
Yeah, make money sucking somebody else's because it's not going to be mine. I don't want to be anywhere around you.
Why? I didn't do anything to you, Jason.
I wake up 6 in the morning to you on the phone to people and telling people you're yourself out.
No, that's not what I was saying. I said I needed support. What are you talking about?
I'm disgusted by you.
I said I needed financial support. How is that disgusted?
Yeah, right.
It's no different from what you do. Good, you can't wait to get rid of me. Good, everyone can't wait to get rid of me.
She's smiling. Smile for the camera. She has a 5 o'clock shadow. What the? Shanny, you need to shave. Holy crap. Yeah, Milo, I agree.
For centuries, religion has been a shield for the flawed, a holy cloak to drape over sins both petty and profound. But in the age of social media, that cloak has become a spotlight, exposing the chaos beneath an unfiltered viral glory. Enter Shannon McGraw, better known as ShannyForChrist, and Jason Rev Egolf, a self-proclaimed devout duo whose online crusade for Christ masks a mess of personal demons and real-life struggles. From Shannon's unhinged rants to Jason's eyebrow-raising antics, this duo always finds a way to level up their cringe with every passing day in video.
Honey, I wouldn't be acting like this if you're not yelling and screaming and treating people like
And shut up.
How about you shut up?
I wish I could.
An internet journey that started as a simple quest for internet fame in the name of faith has now spiraled into a digital disaster, where their dirtiest and nastiest laundry airs for the world to see.
Going through. You're not exposing me at the end of the day. You're exposing yourselves to mankind and to God. God sees the contents of your heart. God sees that you want to make people miserable so you can make fucking money. God sees that. Every day, he sees that. Whatever you do to the least of these, you do unto me. That's what Jesus said.
From their constant dry begging on stream to getting donations from viewers to multiple cases of domestic violence, police arrests, and eventually losing custody of Shanny's children to the Child Protection Services. Their story is a sad and sorry one, especially for Shanny's 2 young sons who are just passengers in the freight train of a life that Shanny and Rev provide them with.
We have no money and no food. You could make a dinner happen. I love you guys. God bless you. We've had no food. Okay, I've had nothing. Shanny got some food with money that we got, praise God, from somebody yesterday, and it was gone in a second. The money was just gone in a second, and she got a sub. It was a $15 sub, I don't know.
ShannyForChrist is a single mom with a knack for drama, often at her expense, or that of the people around her, paired with an alcoholic heir who inherited a fortune of about $700,000 and a house, only to burn it all to the ground in less than 2 years. Shanny, with her self-proclaimed supermom title and a laundry list length of unproven and undiagnosed ailments, and Rev, who is a self-styled preacher who thinks Yoda and Jesus are the same guy. Together, they built a social media empire solely based on lies, fights, and dirty filth. They blew through a fortune of almost $1 million on silly stuff like PlayStations, super chats, and weed. They also left their kids in a house that was reeking of cat feces and got stuck on a train tracks on a road trip from hell. Then spontaneously turned their toxic and unhealthy relationship into a public spectacle for all who cared to see, with multiple arrests, CPS interventions, and a scarlet letter-style humiliation that's straight out of a fever dream. Now they're broke after a spell of an unreasonably lavish lifestyle. They're currently crashing with Rev's uncle, begging for donations while their fans, former fans, stay watching in horror and hilarity.
I'm gonna be rich. No, G-Man. You're gonna be poor. Don't threaten me.
This isn't just another influencer scandal. It's a full-blown saga of scams, squalor, and self-destruction that's got the internet hooked, laughing and shaking their heads. From faking cancer to neglecting their kids, from public meltdowns to a shaved head painted with a scarlet A, Shanny and Rev's story is a masterclass in how to tank your life for likes. They dragged their kids, their families, and their dwindling audience through the mud, all for a shot at clout that never came. This is the ShannyForChrist saga, a train wreck so wild, it proves some dramas are too toxic for any For You page.
Maybe it will fit in a bikini afterwards. That's not funny, man. A lot of the times I don't even want to think about it because it scares me so fucking much.
This story matters because Shanny and Rev didn't just ruin their lives. They left a trail of broken families, betrayed trust, and exploited kids in their wake. Their kids, raised in filth and chaos, are now with CPS. Their fans, once loyal, are done with their lies. And what's left of their legacy is a cautionary tale about what happens when you trade dignity for donations. Let's unpack the TikTok and YouTube disaster that proves some people shouldn't be trusted with a camera.
Oh no, G-Man. How could you? How could you dock drop me like that and put my license plate out in my car like that on the internet? How dare you do that, G-Man? How dare you? It's not like someone doesn't see my car or license every single time I go out in the road and drive. Oh my God. Woe is me. And I don't even want the car because it's a junk piece of Oh no! Like the house was a junk piece of
To get a full overview of what went down with Shannon and Rev, we have to go back in time, all the way back to 15 years ago in 2010, where our story kicks off in Pennsylvania. A much younger Shannon McGraw, soon to be ShannyForChrist, is a single mom of two boys, William and Zachary, fresh off a divorce from her first husband, Douglas Gratis. Life was already a hot mess for her at that point. With two kids, no job, and no real prospects. Only a thirst for drama that even getting her own reality show would not have sufficed. Shanny's not one to lay low. She's loud, unfiltered, and always chasing something bigger. By 2017, 7 years after her last divorce, she's married again, this time to a man named Christopher Dornbush. But even that union crashed and burned when she caught him cheating on her with her best friend. Instead of moving on quietly, Shannon started to spread rumors about Chris for years, only pausing when she thought he might be useful to her again. Take note of that, as it's a recurring pattern we'll see a lot in this story. Shanny keeping people close, but only if they've got something she wants. With her boys in tow and no steady source of income, Shanny moves back in with her elderly parents. You'd think this would be a chance to hit reset, get a job, and focus on her kids. Nope. Shanny turns their home into a nightmare. Her mom later spilled the tea, and it's juicy. Shanny used her dad's car daily, even when she wasn't working. She got fired from her job for filming YouTube videos on the clock. Yup, that's the start of her career. For months, she laid in bed, drinking, crying over a guy, and making everyone miserable. Her mom said, we bought her clothes, her makeup. She got to use her father's car every single day. She laid up in the bed for months doing nothing but drinking alcohol and crying all the time.
She chooses to use it as an excuse to do what she does. And I don't have to explain what she does. I mean, she makes these outrageous videos all the time. She's always crying and carrying on and always, always something negative. Since she was 16 years old, I don't want to say her entire...
It gets worse. Shanny took over the master bedroom, leaving her parents, a couple recovering from surgeries and dealing with health issues, to sleep on a couch and a spare bed. And how did she repay them? By trashing the room. We're talking 2 feet of garbage, food, clothes, and her parents set one rule: hold a job, pay bills. Shanny failed spectacularly, getting canned for her YouTube antics and leaning harder into her content creator dreams. She smoked weed indoors until her parents, citing health issues, forced her outside, which sparked more tantrums. Oh, and get this. She brought a homeless meth addict into the house, claiming he was safe around her kids. Her mom was livid, saying she didn't care who she exposed the boys to.
There was no abuse going on whatsoever. We bought her clothes, we bought her makeup, we bought her, she got to use her father's car every single day. Even when she wasn't working, she got to use her father's car, his truck. So, I mean, she had a way to work, but she wanted to...
Her early on YouTube content is just as wild as her story, if not more unhinged. She starts her channel while she was still with her parents, and it was called ShannyForChrist. There she was posting supermom videos where she brags about parenting and how great she was at it, all while her 2 sons had cereal for dinner. She also begs for PayPal bill money that she actually used to fund her booze and weed addiction, a grift she'll perfect later. In 2014, she caught what seemed to be her first big break, or embarrassment, while on the Drunken Peasants podcast as a guest. On the show, they discover her unhinged claim that the moon was a hoax. According to Shannon, the moon was an artificial light source that was controlled by Satan. She goes on to add that it's not a real celestial body, while also ranting, "I don't care what science says, it's controlled by the big old Satan."
I don't believe space is the way they claim it to be.
That guy.
I don't care what science says. Frankly, I don't give a damn because I believe it's all controlled by the big old Satan right now.
Big old
So
Satan.
She doesn't believe in science because I believe it's controlled by the big old Satan right now.
I just want to know, does she believe the moon exists, or is that not real?
I believe the moon is a light source. Like
What?
A big piece of rock?
Wow. So it's not.
The hosts roast her for ill-informed and damn near stupid remarks, making her a running joke for a few episodes. Shanny, thinking she was now famous, claims she's besties with the amazing atheist, TJ Kirk, saying, "Me and TJ grew up on YouTube together." TJ barely remembers her later saying she thought the moon was fake. That's it.
I guess all you could say is, me and TJ, we kind of grew up on YouTube in the Great Debate community, and we've never really stopped.
Her Drunken Peasants appearances reveal even more about her and her level of intelligence. In one stream, she was asked what she'd do if any of her sons grew up and became an atheist. Her response? Absolutely terrible from the self-proclaimed supermom. She said that if any of her sons grew up to be an atheist, her only obligation would be to feed and clothe them. Then, to prove her parenting chops and prowess, she drags William on camera, asking him, "What do you think of Jesus Christ?" He mumbles, "He's awesome," clearly showing that he's been coached on that.
Well, I doubt my children in any way would deny Jesus Christ, so...
But you get my point, that you shouldn't just say, "Oh, well, I guess I'll have to have 3 new children because he wants to become atheists."
The only duty I have as a...
What is going on?
They're having a Christian atheist discussion on a Google Hangout.
No, I mean, like, I don't know. Am I having audio issues?
No. It's a hangout and a bunch of people
so there's
talk.
just people talking over each other.
Right.
Okay.
The parent, if they turn to be an atheist, is to feed and clothe them. That's all.
Fans later call her out for these terrible actions, calling it disturbing, with one commenting she's forcing religion on her kids for clout. Shanny doesn't stop there. Instead, she doubles down, accusing critics like the amazing atheist, who she earlier claimed they grew up together on YouTube, of cyberbullying and threatening legal action against him, all because he chose to distance himself from her and her problems. It's delusional, but it's Shanny's brand, craving attention no matter how embarrassing or shameful it gets. She would prioritize clout literally over anything else. After that fallout, what follows is when Shanny dives into the Great Debate community, a corner of YouTube where religious creators argue about God's existence. It's niche, it's weird, and it's where she meets 2 guys who change everything. G-Man, a dude she flirts with like it's her job, and Jason Rev Egolf, a man who'd become her partner in chaos. Jason Rev, whose real name is Jason William Egolf, was a freshly widowed alcoholic with a $700,000 inheritance and a house from his late mother, who died of cancer. He's preaching under the name Revelation News, mixing gospel with booze-fueled rants. Shanny's smelling money zeroes in.
God bless you guys. I just want it clear that when you're on here, it's about me. Okay? Don't bring Shanny into it because she's done with it. Okay? You're happy to have me? Well, thank you. I'll preach. Finally fasting for life. I'll preach. That's probably what this will become. It's going to become what was going to be, which is prophecy stuff and news and stuff like that. Make some Christian chat, exactly. That's good stuff. So yeah, I'll be back, but let's just make it clear.
I strongly believe that ShannyForChrist now was false flagged on YouTube. I don't believe they had any reason to take down all 3 of her YouTube channels, and I'm very happy that Shanny is going to cooperate and help me with some of my future legal stuff that I'm going to be dealing with in the future. I've met both their children, and I think they're doing good jobs in terms of like feeding them, making sure that they're learning things or whatever, having the freedom to be able to play games and, you know, and just do what normal children do. They obviously feed them. They was doing it on camera. And then because Shanny was smiling and being happy, they decided they wanted to call CPS because there was no harm coming before those kids or anything like that. They got some explaining to do because they're lying to everybody about what's happening with those kids. Those kids ain't being neglected. They're doing better than me.
It's a messy love triangle. Shanny flirts hard with G-Man, stringing him along, but her real target is Rev's wealth. Rev resists at first, but Shanny's persistent.
1 minute, Shanny's a diva?
But may I say, I am a fucking diva? And I don't like some fool scrub calling up my phone or freaking blowing up my phone with text messages being desperate.
The next minute, she isn't.
So you ruining a ministry that I've been holding on to for a really long time.
Ooh, because everyone should know by now that I am a petty.
By 2018, she's got him hooked, and their drama's about to go next level. Her parents, fed up with her joblessness and filth, kick her out. Shanny refuses to leave, so the cops have to drag her and her boys out. With nowhere else to go, she moves in with Rev, and the real chaos begins. Shanny does not waste any more time. By 2018, she's already convinced Rev to ditch his Pennsylvania roots, his family, his friends, his support network, basically the whole life that he had before her, and move to Colorado, a state where weed's legal and Rev's isolated, fully under her spell. Some fans speculate that it was a control tactic. Others say it's all about the pot. Either way, it's a power move. They sell Rev's inherited house to G-Man. That's the guy from the Great Debate community that she always flirts with. The price of the house? Well, multiple reports suggest that it wasn't too heavy on the pocket for G-Man, as it was only for $1. Yeah, it was a rundown property that was abandoned for a while, but it was worth way more than $1. Unconcerned about that, Shanny brags on stream that they're starting fresh, while Rev's still a little foggy from his alleged Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, which is a brain condition from alcoholism that causes confusion and coordination issues in frequent users, nods along, oblivious to the disaster that was brewing.
Because I'm out of my mind.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't want you to be out of your mind. I'm really tired of it. Of being treated bad by you.
I know how to solve it.
Yeah, what do you expect me to do? I can barely walk and you want me out on the streets?
No, I said I know how to solve it.
Yeah, alcohol, so you can go and beat the out of me like last time.
Right.
Yeah,
say that. Say that.
You're a piece of No, you're a disgusting piece of
As soon as they get to Colorado, they rent a house and go full influencer mode, living like they were the stars of a low-budget reality TV show. Shanny's in her element, blowing Rev's inheritance money like it was just a game of Monopoly. We're talking $5,000 spent on camera gear for their YouTube channel, $2,000 on a hot tub that they never use, $10,000 on DoorDash binges, and a scalped PlayStation 5 that they flaunt for weeks on end. Shanny was obsessed with looking rich, posting their hauls of microphones, lights, and even some designer clothes, feeling like they were finally living the dream. The unchecked spending did not stop there, as they continued their splurge by throwing thousands of dollars in super chats to YouTubers like Foodie Beauty, Chantal Marie, who is a fellow drama magnate that Shanny white knights for her clout. Then, in a desperate attempt to calm their nerves after blowing so much money on frivolities, they decided to enter Wall Street. So they drop $100,000 on a stock market gamble, but that flops. They even gifted random strangers cash and other stuff just to flex like they were really rich. They eventually scored a cameo in a Shane Dawson video about Jeffree Star, which seemed like the highest point for them in all their desperate attempts to become famous. Shanny, already thinking there are no A-listers after their cameo airs, claims we're famous now. Spoiler alert, it's only a background clip, probably a prank or error by Dawson's editor.
Oh, this is so cool.
Wow, this is cool.
Will it fit over the tits?
I don't think so. You have huge tits. Your tits are huge.
But behind the scenes, their kids were suffering. Shanny's two boys, William and Zachary, who are stuck in the backseat of their chaotic lives, are often being ignored. In one clip, Shanny laughs about being late to pick them up from school because she and Rev were caught up being famous. The teachers are fed up, the boys are crying, but Shanny's too busy chasing clout to care. She brags we're freaking like Brangelina, except better looking, while her kids beg for attention.
Where are you? Daddy! Daddy! He's gonna come out crying because we're like 5 minutes. The thing is why we were late at the school is we got like caught up.
As they spent more time together, the more deluded they became about their realities, and their contents also got weirder. Believe it or not, their Revelation News channel that was meant for Christian preaching had now become a platform where they mixed stoned rants with absurd claims, like Rev saying Jesus and Keanu Reeves are basically the same vibe. Later on, they decide to launch an OnlyFans page sometime in early 2020. In a lame effort in trying to cash in, they lower the subscription from $29.99 to $6, begging for bath time livestream subs, but fans call it horrifying. One user's post sums it up, "I can smell them through my screen." The trolling ramps up. A user named Dragnot leaks their address, sparking a Shanny meltdown where she screams like she's some Beverly Hills star who is now at risk of being burgled or something. "You're ruining my life," she screams. Redditor make threats to mock her victim act and got comments like, "She's not famous, she's infamous." Shanny's continued obsession with foodie beauty peaks in 2019, when she declares a jihad on reactors Charlie Gold and Life of a Free Spirit, accusing them of racism against white women, with foodie beauty being the victim here. In a now deleted October stream back in 2019, she rants,
I guess it's okay in America for a white woman to be called white and a white and all these other things. It's okay for that to happen and for all of you guys to cover up.
She claims her great debate community is stronger than the beauty community, saying, "We can kick your ass better." Fans roast her, with one tweeting, "Shanny's crying in her mom's backyard again." She deletes the videos, but not before it spreads, revealing the shallow, attention-seeking degenerate that she was at that time. They burned through the $700,000 fortune in less than 2 years. Gone, all of it. The house they sold to G-Man for $1, a rundown property, sure, but worth way more, is another loss. By the end, they've got nothing but $115,000 in back rent and Rev's car. Rev, no longer foggy from his alleged Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, starts showing his anger. The fights go viral, and they're ugly.
You come near me like that again. You talk to me like that
I'm tired of having a woman that treats me this way. I'm sick of it.
Look how you're treating me.
I am sick of it.
Honey, I wouldn't be acting like this if you're not yelling and screaming and treating people like you demand respect. I demand respect because I'm paying for everything.
All I give you is respect.
I demand respect because I'm paying for everything. How about not bite the hand that feeds you?
I'd have 700 grand left if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, why don't you leave me alone?
How about you leave me?
Rev suggests that he's been financially supporting everything and everyone while Shannon sits on her ass for 3 years. Shanny fires back, claiming she's trying and she can barely walk, given her health issues, but the truth is clear. They're broke and the dream's dead. Shanny later ends up accusing Rev of cheating with a woman named Caitlin, and Rev gets mad at her even though it seemed like the truth. In his rage, he rambles about wishing he could rip his thing off after being in Shannon. It's raw, disgusting, and all on camera for their shrinking audience to see. Then comes their eventual eviction. On December 6, 2019, their alleged landlord boots them out with policemen present, marking Shanny's second forcible removal from a place. The house is in a state like a biohazard happened within its walls. A local films the aftermath of the apartment after they had just left, and it's grim. The whole place was trashed. Cat piss and feces was littered in almost every corner. The fridge was filled with stale and rotten food that could be perceived 100 meters away. The video also revealed that Shanny's boys lived in this squalor, despite her supermom claims.
God knows how long. That stinks. Oh, that reeks. Ooh, what? Okay. Yeah, no, see? Ooh. Like... Oh, this is terrible.
This place is an absolute...
In one of the rooms, there was only one air mattress that was placed bare on the ground. Then the guinea pig cage was also placed in the room with barely any furniture.
Living in filth.
The child's bed. Again, I was paid to come in here and just take a film and get the hell out.
For her other son that had been diagnosed with autism, they'd had a lot of stuffed toys littered around, with another air mattress and bedspreads that were well soiled already.
Pain.
Hey man, install this. This is the kids. This is one of the boys' rooms. And here's the other kid's room. Look at this place. I think it's maybe Zach's room. Yeah. Jackets. Well, at least he gets those.
You would think that this was just neglect from their parents. That's why the rooms were in such a deplorable condition. But that's just not the case, as a look into Shannon's and Rev's room reveals that it's not a case of neglect. It was just the living conditions set by their parents. Their room was somehow worse than that of the children. First of all, it was stuffed to the brim. There wasn't any real room for free movements. They also had a mini fridge, hot plate cooker, as well as a microwave, all in a room so that they could have no reason to leave. The bed in there was much bigger than what the boys had, but the person recording said that there was a strong stench coming from the room, and you could see obvious discolorations on the sheets. This was clearly not an ideal place for a human to live, but somehow they all managed in there.
I'm not sure what actually there's that smelling in here. It's a body and like cigarette. Like I want to try to say they were smoking weed, but it don't smell like it. It smells like it was just. I'm walking over a 2-foot tall pile of clothes right now, like can of cat food just sitting open. This place, it's just god awful. Food, trash, sink. Right.
After they'd hit the road with whatever limited stuff they could travel with, Shannon then went on a live stream inviting locals to loot the place, saying, "Take it, we don't need it," while leaving the garage doors open. Locals raid it, grabbing TVs and toys, and the internet goes wild, with Reddit threads calling it a new low.
When you walk in, the first smell is feces, some scented something or another. Lots of like tobacco smell, probably something mixed with, probably something heavily mixed with, oh god, I can't think, it's weird. It smells like weed, but like really bad weed. And
with $115,000 in debt and no money, Shanny and Rev pack Rev's car, 2 kids, 2 cats, a guinea pig, and a mountain of junk, and hit the road for Pennsylvania. Rev's November 25, 2019 hit-and-run accident, where he fled the scene, likely drunk, although solely in speculation, adds legal heat, with the case still open. Shanny, on the other hand, remains unfazed and live streams their exit, laughing, "We're free now." But the reality? They're broke, their kids are neglected, and their famous dream is dead. This cross-country disaster is next, and it's just as messy as you'd expect from Shanny. With Colorado in the rear view and Shanny and Rev are on the run, well, a more accurate description looking at the bigger picture would be a slow-motion disaster in a beat-up car. Evicted with police force, $115,000 in debt, and Rev's hit-and-run case looming, they've packed their lives into a vehicle that's one pothole away from giving up. So it's Shanny, Rev, their 2 boys, William and Zachary, 2 cats, a guinea pig, and a pile of junk so chaotic it could star in a hoarder documentary.
The garage door at our address is open. Anybody in Colorado that's near it, go in and get anything.
The cross-country road trip from Colorado to Pennsylvania is peak Shanny and Rev, equal parts hilarious and horrifying. With no money and no plan, they livestream every chaotic moment, turning their car into a rolling reality show. Rev, cranky from teen withdrawal, snaps at Shanny and her boys constantly. The kids, crammed in a backseat overflowing with junk, are caught in the crossfire, alongside 2 cats and a guinea pig.
Honey, you need to get back on the highway.
I wanted to check on him. Is he, because you see
Can
him?
we go park somewhere so we're not, like, in the middle of traffic? Can you use your head and get off the side of the goddamn road and go down and park somewhere smart?
Shut the up. If he's okay, I can get back on, no problem. Get the cat on your lap, you idiot! If he's on that floor again, you are getting your ass. Do you hear me?
What?
Piece of.
Jason William Egolf, stop this.
No, I won't. You're not a mother. You don't say anything. I'm so sick of it.
I literally was saying something.
I'm sick.
Rev's contempt for Shanny's sons, especially the older one with diagnosed mental health issues, is blatant. He calls them annoying and worse, right in front of Shanny, who does nothing to stop it. Their fights are a public spectacle. It's a toxic mess, and the kids are trapped in it. The trip's most iconic moment, Rev, in a brain-dead GPS fail, drives their car onto train tracks and gets stuck. Yeah, actual train tracks. It was a moment so absurd it's practically legend at this point. So as the trip went on and they reached somewhere in the Midwest, Rev follows a glitchy GPS and drives onto active train tracks. The car gets stuck, and the possibility of a freight train barreling toward them any minute makes them all fear for their lives. Shanny, who is still live streaming every moment, shrieks, "We're gonna die," while Rev fumbles, muttering, "The roads need better labels." They call the cops, who rescue them, and miraculously, they free the car just in time. But Shanny's meltdown is Oscar-worthy. She sobs, "I'm having a heart attack. It's the GPS's fault." While they all made it out alive, the internet loses it. Fans roast them, with one comment summing up how bad this situation must be for the kids. "I feel bad for the kids in this situation. Unless they're aware of what's wrong, they'll end up like losers like their egg and donors."
Please, Jesus.
Be a road down here. Oh my God, is that a road?
It might be.
Or is that train track?
Just be careful.
Oh my God, this is so crazy.
Can you move over a little bit more? Thank you. Oh my God. Try to go over them. Oh God.
No.
That's it.
No. We're wrecked. We're wrecked.
Oh.
No. That's it. We're wrecked.
In one stream, Shanny pleads, "We need $200 for a room tonight," while Rev slurring adds, "God bless the super chats." Fans call it grift, pointing out Rev's uncle's offer to house them. One Reddit post snarks, "They're not homeless, they're just allergic to responsibility." They finally make it to Pennsylvania, crashing with Rev's uncle, their biggest enabler. But even he has limits. The car was already a wreck, the kids are traumatized, and the guinea pig's gone. Shanny spins it as a victory, saying that they made it, and that was a shame to the haters. But the reality's bleak. They're broke, CPS is watching, and their famous dream is now a distant memory. They promise to get jobs, but they don't. Instead, they get kicked out again. Then they just keep on bouncing between motels, G-Man's house, and random apartments, always one step away from homelessness. Their fights get uglier, and Shanny's jealousy goes nuclear. During their time back in Pennsylvania, Shanny and Rev's relationship had hit rock bottom. Rev was not helping. He starts drinking again, despite Shanny's claims she forced him to quit cold turkey. In one stream, he's visibly drunk, slurring about Yoda's wisdom while Shanny laughs it off. One night after a drunken argument over Detective Pikachu, a movie Rev deems beneath him, Shanny snaps and hits him. Then, in a wild twist, she calls the cops, claiming Rev hit her. The police take one look at Rev's bruises and haul Shanny away in 2 pairs of handcuffs, screaming, "I get put in jail and he hits me." It's a clown show, but the internet eats it up for entertainment.
Hey, officer, what's he get arrested for hitting me?
Stand up.
Can I go? Please.
No, stand up.
Please. Officer.
Stand up. You got one more chance. Hands on your back.
Can you put them frontwise, please? I have fibromyalgia.
We can double them up. You want to double them up? Don't put your hands on your back.
He needs to take care of the boys.
Are you okay with that?
Can I talk to him real quick? Did he put charges on me, or is it?
Just turn around.
I'm
asking you.
You need to.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah. I have no choice. I have no choice.
You don't have any family or anything else in the area?
I have no one in my life. And I'm going to jail. How long am I going to stay in jail? Can you drop the charges?
So the way it works in Colorado is he's not pressing charges.
Rev left with the boys is a mess, but Shanny's arrest isn't the worst of it. Another fight, this time over a movie Shanny's son wants to watch, sends Rev into a rage. While watching a movie one night with Shanny's sons, Rev gets into an argument with the younger of her two sons over what movie to watch. And in the heat of the moment, he loses it on the kid. There's no confrontation that he laid hands on the boy, but he did enough to warrant an arrest that night. He was then taken to jail and remained there for a while, for about 2 weeks or so. Shanny would then allegedly disavow Rev, saying that she does not want anything to do with him anymore and that she is through with him. But that would all turn out to be false, because for the while he was in prison, she was trying to raise funds for his bail. All her efforts came to nothing until Rev's uncle heard of his arrest and came up with the bail for his release. After that, Shanny completely forgot about all that she said earlier about him and how she was done with him and all those lies she told earlier. She welcomed him back home with open arms, but it came at a cost to her. Due to her having multiple reports sent to the Child Protective Service concerning her case and that of her children, when the last case of assault that led to Rev's arrest happened, the CPS was also involved. When Shanny is no stranger to CPS scrutiny, fans have been reporting her since Colorado, citing the filthy house and extremely poor living conditions. This time it wasn't a walk in the park for her. So when Rev made his return into her life, the CPS was immediately alerted over the safety of the kids with him back in the house. And as soon as they came, Shanny was presented with two choices. Keep your sons and part with Rev, as she already said that she would. The other option was to have Rev stay while her children went to their custody. Shanny chose to keep Rev, and the CPS parted with her kids, which is probably the best for them from the glimpses of their real lives that's seen. Shanny's own legal troubles, her 2019 arrest assault for whipping and slapping Rev, add tension. She's on probation, yet she's live streaming like it's no big deal and taunting trolls. It's bold but stupid, and the internet's eating it up. But still, their dream life together is far from a reality. With no kids, no money, and no shame, Shanny and Rev lean harder into their grift. They crash with Rev's uncle again, turning his white walls yellow with cigarette smoke and filth. Their YouTube and TikTok content, pure begging. We're starving, Rev whines, asking for PayPal donations for food, weed, or anniversaries.
It's the #1 e-beggar on the internet, Revelation News. I want to be the best e-beggar possible.
Oh gosh.
So I'm begging for you right now because I'm going to pass out and die. Could I get like 20 or 30 bucks for some food?
Shanny claims a laundry list of ailments: breast cancer, fibromyalgia, restless leg syndrome, osteoarthritis from a vague injury at 17. None of them are proven, and her cancer scam gets reported to the authorities.
You have different ailments.
To go to the hospital and check her out, see what's going on. Not sure how long we'll be there or anything. But there's tests she needs to get done, so we'll get them done too. But I just wanted you to know that Shanny's going to the hospital. But yeah, we're off. We're off to the hospital to see how she's doing and what's up. So I don't know. I want to make sure that this.
Upon return from the hospital, Shanny calls out the fat on her hands and body a swelling. A swelling! She has gained rapid weight but is still too delusional to admit the clear and obvious fact. She'd rather lie and gaslight herself to believe what she prefers.
God, I look swollen in my hands even.
Hey, you got swelling everywhere. You do.
God. just... Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you got swelling everywhere, honey.
Oh, this is so bad.
Rev defends her, saying she's not a binge eater, despite her ridiculous weight gain and their junk food binges. When trolls question her injury timeline, Shanny calls them ableist and claims her clips are out of context. She rants, "I've suffered enough," while Rev begs fans to feed the homeless like them, even shouting out a Chinese guy he bums cigarettes from. The irony? They're not homeless, just broke, leeching off Rev's uncle. The story of these two takes a darker turn when Shanny catches Rev texting another woman and then goes berserk over it. The hypocrisy is wild. Shanny, who's been flirting shamelessly with G-Man for years, even convincing Rev to sell him his mother's house for only $1. But if Rev so much as looks at another woman, war. Case in point, the Scarlet Letter incident. When Shanny catches Rev messaging escorts who were most likely trolls that were catfishing him, she loses it. She shaves his head, paints a giant A on his forehead, a nod to the Scarlet Letter's adultery symbol, and humiliates him on a live stream. Does it feel good? She taunts him, adding a little bit of dye on his scalp for extra shame. She won't let him change his hair, claiming it's his punishment.
I added black to it so you could be manly about it. Now you can show everyone. Does it feel good? Does it feel good?
No.
Good.
Fans are torn. Some call it abusive, others laugh at Rev's pathetic "I did this for her" defense.
Everything they're saying is get the hell out now. You're abused horribly, get out.
Yeah, get out.
I am.
Get out. You don't love me. You never did.
See, I did this for her. This. I look like this now. And that was for her. This is for her.
How many women have I found?
Comments flood in, calling out to Rev to run for his life, pointing out to how he's been looking miserable for a while now. But Shanny's guilt trips, blaming him for CPS, keep him trapped. It's a toxic cycle, and the internet's front row seat makes it worse. As some sort of vindication, or like a middle finger to her imaginary haters again, Shanny allegedly starts taking Ozempic, which is a weight loss drug that suppresses one's appetite, all in an effort to lose weight herself.
Check it, guys. Look at this. What? Holy. Now say that she's not losing weight, okay? Try that. Try it. Pizza Maranatha.
Their Revelation News channel, meant to be about faith, is now a mess filled with videos of them getting high on weed or whatever their poison for the day is. Other times they're arguing and ranting about Yoda being likened to Jesus. Rev's anarcho-communist analogies and Shanny's prophet claims are peak cringe, with fans re-uploading their deleted videos like hidden gems of obscurity. They watch other people's gameplay, scarf down taxpayer-funded meals, and beg for more. Although Rev looks increasingly emaciated, hinting at deeper issues, the trolling gets worse. Fans call out their lies, from Shanny's fake illnesses to Rev's claims of millions of listens on a crashed PC. One troll passing as a woman from Norway sparks another Shanny meltdown. Rev swears he's happy with Shanny, but his outbursts, like calling out AVGN for drinking shitty Rolling Rock beer, shows a man tired, defeated, and now unraveling.
Yeah, he's drinking. Do you see that he's drinking Pac-Man cup with in it? What the is that? Is there something wrong with you to follow a man that chugs diarrhea? James Rolfe drinks Rolling Rock beer. I want Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Their latest grift, claiming Shanny's vitamin D deficiency and hospital visits need funding, all while smoking indoors and eating their uncle's food. When Shanny's admitted to a mental hospital, Rev begs for $100 to get her home, calling the system disgusting. Shanny, fresh from a bath and a cigarette, complains about poor treatment and threatens to sue. The entitlement is unreal. The real tragedy isn't Shanny and Rev's downfall, it's the collateral damage. Shanny's boys raised in filth and chaos are taken by CPS, likely for the best. Shanny claims she's sacrificing for them, saying, "I don't want them back until I'm better." But her actions, filming fights, neglecting their home, tell a different story. Those kids deserve peace, not a mom who prioritizes clout over care. Rev's uncle, their last lifeline, keeps enabling them, but his patience is wearing thin. Their room's a health hazard, and their fights are constant. Rev blames Shanny for squandering his inheritance. Shanny blames him for losing her kids. Yet they stay together, too codependent to break free. Fans who once supported Shanny have jumped ship, tired of her lies and victim act. Comments like, "You did this to yourselves," flood their streams. Shanny and Rev thought they'd be internet stars, but they're just infamous. Their scams from fake cancer to vitamin D grift are exposed. Their fights from train tracks to scarlet letters are memes. And their kids, they're the real victims, caught in a content grind that turned family chaos into clicks. Shanny's still preaching her profit nonsense, Rev's still begging for blessings, but the internet's done with their circus. This saga proves some dramas are too toxic for any platform. Shanny and Rev didn't just ruin their lives, they shattered their families for a shot at fame that never came. From $700,000 to homelessness, from supermom to CPS, they're a cautionary tale of what happens when you chase clout over everything else. What's next? Will they keep grifting? Rev's mental and physical decline is stark. By 2020, he was already emaciated, with viewers noting his skeletal look in streams. Some speculated it's a result of his drug use or worse, an untreated illness, but Shanny insisted that he's just stressed. Rev's behavior grew erratic too with time. He's comparing himself to Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077, or claiming that they sleep to space videos while teaching us about its spiritual benefits.
Through the game of Cyberpunk, you get Johnny will just walk in on you, and he's like, "What's up?" and he starts talking to you. And you start learning about what his beliefs are, and he's an anarchist.
His uncle, their reluctant host, started setting boundaries, tired of Shanny's bath and cigarette routine and Rev's drinking. In one stream, Shanny whined, "He's threatening to kick us out," but Rev's uncle relented, unable to abandon them. Fans on Kiwi Farms called him an enabler, with one post reading, "He's their last lifeline, and they're burning it." The fallout was brutal. Shanny's follower count plummeted as fans ditched her, leaving comments like, "You're not victims, you're scammers." CPS kept monitoring, with the boy's future uncertain. Shanny's arrest, the scarlet letter stunt, and her neglect painted a grim picture. She kept streaming, oblivious, ranting about justice while Rev spiraled. The internet watched, equal parts horrified and hooked, with ex-posts predicting they're one meltdown from rock bottom. But rock bottom, it's closer than they think, and the next act's grift fest will prove it.